Once I started telling people that I wanted to pursue my real estate license, you guys don't know how many people tried to deter me from that path. But I remember sitting in church one day, and the pastor mentioned something about taking a leap of faith and living by faith and not fear. God would not have given you the dream or the vision if He didn't want you to have it, if He didn't want you to pursue it. At that very month, I had to dig deep within and reflect and decide, this isn't for me. If this is what it feels to be successful in this space, it doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't make me feel good. And I didn't go back. I did not trust in myself. I did not trust in God's plan for my life. I did not trust that if I let go of all of these side hustles, I would be successful. Hey, what's up, everyone? The Grind Podcast first episode is finally here. I can't believe we've made it. So this podcast and this stage is where we're going to focus on faith, perseverance, entrepreneurship, all coming together. And today I'm your host, Lilliana Matos. I'm an entrepreneur, a mentor, and a person that believes in God's plan for our lives. So we'll dive into what it takes to chase your dreams, stay grounded in faith, and overcome mental challenges of our journey. This podcast is going to be all about the grind, the sacrifices, the grit, the things that it takes in order to chase our dreams and overcome obstacles, all while keeping God at the center of our business plan. If you're an entrepreneur or an inspiring entrepreneur or someone that needs motivation, then this space is for you. So today I'm going to share with you my journey on how I became a real estate agent here in California. So for those that don't know me, I'm actually a New Jersey native. I've been here since 2017, and I actually came as a teacher. So before I was even in California, I manifested being here. I came here for a visit one day, and I got this sense of belonging that just wouldn't go away, and I knew that California was the place that I needed to create a life and live. So I found this sweater at Joyce Leslie. I remember I was going through like the sales rack and it had California Malibu on the front of it. And I bought that sweater with so much pride, and I would wear it and manifest me being in California. I would envision myself there. Every move that I did was for the sake of me moving to California. I saved money. I got a bunch of odd jobs. I didn't want to come here broke. So I wanted to make sure that I executed a plan so that when I got there, I had the foundation that was necessary in order for me to sustain a lifestyle here, because as you guys know, California ain't cheap. So once I got here, I was a teacher. I was a teacher for 5 years, and by the good grace of God, I was able to come on a salary to California as a teacher, and I taught here for 1 year. But I've always had this keen interest for real estate because I bought my home at the age of 24. I helped my parents buy their home. I grew up in a Section 8 apartment. They had no idea how to purchase a home, and I was able to guide them through that process. And then I helped my really close friends buy homes, and I helped a few other of my relatives buy homes. And needless to say, we were making an impact on creating generational wealth for the people that I love the most. So when I got to California and I realized that I had this strong passion, but I knew that being a full-time teacher was not going to get me where I needed to be in order to be super successful at real estate or actually make a career and a living. I've heard crazy stories about, people that get their real estate license and they don't succeed, or, managing both careers could be really detrimental and it doesn't really go anywhere. So once I started telling people that I wanted to pursue my real estate license, you guys don't know how many people tried to deter me from that path. They mentioned that a lot of their friends tried to pursue it and they weren't successful, and they really just couldn't make a career out of it. But I remember sitting in church one day, and the pastor mentioned something about taking a leap of faith and living by faith and not fear. God would not have given you the dream or the vision if He didn't want you to have it, if He didn't want you to pursue it. And sometimes you just have to make extreme sacrifices in order to create the life that God had intended for you. So when I listened to that message, it really resonated with me deeply. After that year of teaching, I knew it was time for me to move into this pathway and pursuing my real estate career. So I quit teaching cold turkey. Everyone thought I was absolutely insane. I got a job as a cocktail waitress to sustain myself and pay bills. My parents wanted to disown me. Imagine blue-collared working parents that supported my track of becoming a teacher, paid for schooling, supported myself through, my first initial years of teaching. I had a pension, I had a 403B, I had a retirement plan, and I was I guess you could consider it successful in that realm. However, I had to do what it took. I was pursuing a vision that only I could see and that God planted in my heart. Crazy enough to believe, I got a job selling timeshare. I was walking down the streets of Long Beach and they were selling timeshare, and they told me that if I went to this presentation that I would be able to take a trip for free for me and my family. So at the time, I was kind of jobless, trying to figure out this real estate thing. And I thought it'd be a great idea for me and my family to take a free trip. So I go to the presentation, and in that presentation, they tell me, hey, we can actually get your real estate license because I had told them that I was broke and couldn't afford timeshare. So here we are, fast forward. They're helping me get my real estate license, and I'm selling timeshare. Honestly, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Thinking back, starting my real estate career in timeshare was the most lucrative yet empowering type of sale that could ever have embarked on. I learned so many great strategies and skills in order to be able to sell at a high capacity. However, I just knew in my soul it wasn't for me. I had the best month in timeshare. I was number one on the leaderboard. And at that very month, I had to dig deep within and reflect and decide this isn't for me. If this is what it feels to be successful in this space, it doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't make me feel good. And I didn't go back. I decided then that I needed to sell real estate, homes, commercial. I needed to help families break generational boundaries and get them into homes. I wanted to be an advocate for the people, especially the minority people, the Latinos, and be a vessel for them to acquire homeownership. So I started my pursuit of becoming a real realtor. And I joined Caldwell Banker. I interviewed a bunch of people and I obsessed. I literally would take every training under the sun. I would practice wholeheartedly the scripts and the role plays. I would study the leaders in the room, and I wasn't successful. My first year in real estate, I probably sold 2 houses. It was kinda sad. It was kinda sad thinking back, but it's okay because God has a journey and a purpose, and sometimes it's His timing and not ours. I then pivoted and joined, EXP. At the time, I it was COVID, so I thought, "Okay, a virtual brokerage from home. This makes sense." So I joined them, and I wanted to be a part of a team. I wanted to be in intimacy with someone that would actually coach and mentor me and guide me. So I would drive every single day to Anaheim, California to go be a part of a team that had the skills and the trainings and the trajectory that I felt I needed in order to learn. And I became a sponge. I didn't care about the drive. I didn't care about what was needed to in order I didn't care about the sacrifice. I did what I thought I needed to do in order to learn and be the best real estate agent that I could be. With that being said, I still wasn't able to maximize my capacity and really fully engage at becoming a real realtor. You want to know why, guys? Because I was holding on to all of my part time jobs. I was a cocktail waitress, I was a notary, I was a substitute teacher, I was a brand ambassador for beer companies. I was doing every odd job under the sun because I did not trust in myself. I did not trust in God's plan for my life. I did not trust that if I let go of all of these side hustles, I would be successful. But by the good grace of God, COVID happened. It took away all of my side jobs, and I had nothing left besides real estate. At that moment, I was also going through divorce. I was in this big city where I don't have my real family and friends, trying to pursue a career that honestly I didn't even believe that I could be successful in. And what does one do when you're going through these trying times? You look for comfort in people that love you. So I flew home to New Jersey, and I literally went home and cried on my mom's couch. And I said, Mom, if this is it, I think this is where my California journey ends. There's no way that I'm going to be able to afford myself and a lifestyle in one of the most expensive city in the world, all alone, on the backs of a career that I haven't even fully figured out yet, that I've barely sold homes. I think at this moment I probably sold 4 homes. I remember my mom just looking at me and saying, "Do you believe in God?" I said, "Yes, of course." She said, "Do you believe he gave you this vision so that you can give up on it?" Absolutely not. Do you believe that he's going to abandon you and forsake you in this moment that you're going through and these challenges and these trials and these tribulations? And I remember just looking at her and saying, "No, I don't think he will." And he's like, "He's gotten you this far, and this is your dream, and this is your vision, and you're gonna go back to that town, and you're gonna lean on him and pray to him, and I promise you he's gonna provide and lead a way for you." So needless to say, I flew back to California to an empty home with nowhere to live because I was being kicked out because of my divorce. And I had 2 weeks to find a place. And I found the most coolest place in the middle of Hollywood. I know what you're thinking, you LA natives, Hollywood sucks. I know that now. I know that now. But the reality is, when you are a girl from out of town, from the other side, living in downtown Hollywood, seems like a dream. That's where most people go to explore tourism, to, be in and out of the cool things LA culture has to offer. So I thank God I was able to move into this really cool apartment right on Hollywood Boulevard, and Vine. So I was able to walk to all the cool restaurants. But that's just half the story. The reality is, once I put my head down and I got acclimated in my new apartment, I opened almost $4 million in escrow. I just kept going and God kept providing a way. Every time I turned around, I was helping a new family. I was making a new sale. I was making more money. I had sold from the midst of July when my separation happened to December that year almost 10 homes. The most I have done in my entire career in the year and a half that I had been plugged in. And that was because I leaned on God. I had faith that He was going to deliver. And I believed that I was blessed and highly favored by His grace. I wholeheartedly believed that He was not going to abandon me in this space. The trajectory just kept on going. I just kept putting Him at the center of everything that I was doing. I kept pushing myself to newer heights. Little by little, I just kept climbing the ladder, and He kept delivering and kept sending clients from absolutely nowhere sometimes. My phone would just ring at times, and there would be somebody on the other line just wanting my services, wanting me to help them, wanting me to guide them through one of the most important and biggest investments of their life. And I never took any of those calls for granted. I really just always came and cherished every second that I had with them, and took my responsibility to be the guide and the light in getting them or helping them sell their homes. So, with that being said, friends, today I challenge you to look in the mirror. If there's a dream that you have in your heart, if there's something that you want to do, that you want to pursue, but you're scared, but you have fear that you're going to fail, I challenge you today to have faith over fear, to lean in on God and trust His process. Trust that He will never forsake you or abandon you. Trust that He's going to hold your hand because you believe in His mission and His journey, and you're blessed and highly favored. So keep God at the center of your business plan. Will bring clarity and purpose to everything that you're doing. Your success is built one step at a time. So I challenge you to continue to reflect on your journey, take that leap of faith, and join us for the next episode next week.